So today I'm going to talk about the CBI bed bars that I have for my 2020 Colorado. These bed bars do fit every year Colorado, but CBI has also released a new set of universal bed bars that you can use on basically any vehicle that has a bed. So any pickup truck basically. And I'll show those off a little bit as well. But for now, I'm just going to talk about these CBI bed bars, the tent I have on top of it, my experience with these bed bars, the quality of them, and just kind of give you guys a rundown of how this setup works. So I've had these bed bars on since February of this year, and in February I added a 145-pound Princess Auto tent. Since then I've upgraded to this Go Overland Canada Voyage, which weighs in at 108 pounds roughly. These bed bars are weighted up to, I believe, 600 pounds static and 800 pounds dynamic, or vice versa. I will have to check and put that on the screen. But so far, quality wise, they've been great. They were super easy to install. They basically use kind of like a C-clamp that goes around the bottom of your rail here. Getting in behind there to actually secure it was a bit of a hassle with a ratcheting wrench, but I was able to do so. As you'll see on screen right now, I actually took this tent and these bed bars to the East Coast this past year, and it's done wonders. The bed bars held up great. They didn't shift at all. I did notice that some of these up here actually did become loose, but we were able to tighten those up with the help of some friends and keep the tent secure. I am going to review this tent at some point in the near future, most likely when it's sometime in the new year. I'm not a welder by any means, so I can't speak to the type of welds that these are, if they're good quality welds or not. I have noticed that on this bed bar over here, I am starting to get a little bit of rust taking place, but that's nothing a little bit of rust proofing can't deal with. As for the initial weight, I believe typically whenever I'm in this tent with my girlfriend, I've had some people, ask or explain that they've used these bed bars and they've had some bowing going on. I do have some bowing, it would appear, but nothing that would cause me any sort of concern when actually off-roading with the vehicle, or even just simply going and camping with it. So as you can see, I have two C1 pods here from Diode Dynamics. They are fantastic. I no issues with them whatsoever. Obviously, Diode Dynamics is quality brand I trust and I love, and I plan to add more lights to this truck this year. I do have some lighting issues that I need to obviously sort out in terms of how my wiring has been run, but overall it's good. So these bed bars are probably some of the cheaper, not necessarily in quality, but in price, out on the market right now. And the universal one sits up a little bit taller than this, and it comes with, well, it doesn't come with, but you can purchase an additional mole panel that extends this entire side, so that way you have more options when adding things like max tracks or roto packs and things of that nature. So you can get the universal ones, or you can get these standard ones that are for the Colorado specifically. You can't go wrong with either. As you can see with this type of tent that I have on here, it's a hybrid tent. It actually sits just below the Prinsu roof rack, so it keeps it very aerodynamic. I don't get a lot of drag when we're doing these long haul trips. So just so you guys can see, I have here, obviously they're hooked up. This is their main beam pattern, and I will show you their backlight. I'm sure anybody who's done any sort of research on Diode Dynamics knows that they have backlit options on most of their lighting for off-road. So, and here's the amber backlit, nothing too fancy. They're mounted a little higher. These are in the wide beam pattern, so I was using them primarily as a chase light, but they're the wide pattern. They're up higher. Realistically, they should be mounted lower, but they serve their purpose. They've done well off-road, so I will change them later, probably to lower on either side of the bed, but for now that's where they're at. I've had to create these blocks basically so that way they were sitting flush and not tucked underneath, so that way they didn't cut off a lot of light. However, when I do close my tailgate, on the main beam pattern, it does actually cut off probably right about here, but that's okay because it helps the people behind me see. So